Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HP Podcast, episode number 369. I'm Ben, and with me here today are the beautiful boys from Down Under. I don't know why I said Down Under. We're in North America, just for anyone who wasn't sure. Dave and Brandon.
We're down under Dave.
That's true. When you really think about it, everybody's down under somebody else.
If they're lucky.
Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm real good today, fellas.
What'd you do today?
I was very productive. I got an oil change.
Okay,
I went
but you didn't do
shopping. Well, I had to drive there.
Okay.
I made the decision to do it. I had to drive there, and I certainly paid for it.
Sure.
But yeah. Then
where do you get your oil
shopping.
changed? Sorry, I'm just interrupting you constantly.
No, go ahead.
Where do you get your oil changed?
I've been changing my oil myself, but I really did not feel like doing it this time, so I just went to a Pennzoil.
Yeah.
And it was like a seamless experience. It was honestly like less than 10 minutes, the entire thing. And yeah, sure, it's like $30-$40 more to do it that way.
Yeah.
But it was so convenient. I didn't even get out of my car. They were
really?
trying to upsell me on a million things, but I was like, no thanks. They replaced my my oil gasket for the drain plug for free, filled up my tires, filled up my windshield wiper fluids. Yeah, out the door, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all, boys.
I changed my own oil up until, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years ago. So like all my life until then. And it was at a point when I realized me buying the oil and the filter was $5 less than having it done by somebody else, that I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then I moved into a house that has I have a very large garage, and I could do it myself. But once again, I've decided it's not worth the money to do it myself anymore. But I do like, so the car I have now, I bought at a dealership. Um, and when they do the oil change, they actually do like a full camera scan of the bottom of the car and send you the video and like walk you through if there's anything wrong. They check everything. So it's because I bought the car there. Um, so I'm like, oh, it's a pretty nice experience. I like being able to look under my car without having to be under my car. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll ever change my own oil again, provided I don't, go broke somehow.
Yeah. But it was good. Yeah. Grocery shopping, made dinner, played a little bit of video games, shaved,
Nice.
took a shower. All of the essentials for a day off. It was a productive day, I guess is what I'm saying. So
I'm glad to hear it,
good.
dude.
It was good. It was good. I almost worked today. I decided not to pick up the shift, but
Yeah. Davey,
Hello.
how was your day?
It's good. I worked. Nothing interesting happened.
Yeah. I
But
worked and lots of interesting things happened, but nothing I want to talk about.
yeah. Oil change. Funny enough, a couple months ago, the windshield washer fluid light came on my car, and I kept putting it off and putting it off, and then I realized I've owned my car for almost 3 years now, and I don't ever recall putting windshield washer fluid in, and I'm like, man, this fucking car's windshield washer fluid must be massive, like the thing.
The
Like, how
reservoir.
have I never put it in? And then I also needed to get an oil change, and as I'm getting the oil change, like, I see the guy put windshield washer fluid in, and I'm like, oh,
That's why.
they keep refilling it. But sorry, I want to go back to the doing your own oil change thing, because I'm the same as you, Ben. I've done it myself. I went through a phase where I wanted to do my own oil change, and I think everybody should do their oil change once, just to kind of like get your hands dirty with your car. It's a thing you spend thousands and thousands of dollars in, and spend hours and hours in. So like, and that's the one like DIY thing that you can do. And it's just nice to get to know your car. But you're right, like you really don't save that much money or any money at all because those quick lube places, just like, they're so good and quick at it that you end up spending more time on your own oil change and spending the same amount of money. So I know exactly what you mean, but
And you just hit on something else, Dave, that I was gonna mention. They like vacuum the car, they rotate the tires, they fill up the windshield washer fluid, like all that stuff. I also just realized I haven't had to buy windshield washer fluid in like 3 or 4 years, because of that. So it's fine. It's totally fine to not change oil if you don't want to.
yeah, I just didn't feel like it, and it needed done real bad.
Yep.
The rods on my car have started to knock.
Yeah, that's usually a good indication.
Yeah, so I gotta be. Well, I mean, it has 151,000 miles on it, so Lord knows it's something that happens, right? It's
Yeah.
old as fuck. It burns oil. It's a Subaru. Yeah, it was time. It was time. So,
Brandon, how often do you change your oil, and what kind of oil do you have?
OW20, full synthetic, high mileage. I like to do it between 3 and 5,000. That's
Dave?
full synthetic recommendation.
I think mine is 7,000 kilometers, so that's right in the middle of what Brandon said, and I'm OW20 semi, I think.
So when I first bought my car, of course they did an oil change like right before they sold it to me, but it had 5,000 miles on it. It was a dealer car. It was like one that they gave to people whenever they had a car in for work. They would give them that car to take home for a day or two while they, got stuff done. So it was a pretty new car. And after like 5,000 miles, I took it in to get my oil changed, because that's what you're supposed to do. And the guy at the dealership goes, "Why are you bringing this in so soon? Is it like you've only got?" I think at the time I literally only had like 1,500 miles on it after that long, and it had only been a short time. It had been like a few months. And I said, and he said, "Why are you bringing it in so soon?" I said, "What do you mean? My whole life this is what I've been told to do." And he's like, "Well, this oil that we have in your car, it's like a brand new oil, and the manufacturer recommendation is 15 to 20,000 miles.
That's not. There's no way that's fucking true.
And I
Brad.
said,
there is no way that's true.
I said, there is absolutely no way that's true. That's exactly what I said. I said, there's no way that's true. He goes, no, seriously. He pulls out the manual and shows it to me. The manual for my car. He showed it to me. From the manufacturer, it says 15 to 20,000 miles.
What kind of hyper fucking oil, super oil, do you have in this motherfucker?
I don't know. But I was like, okay, fine. And because I didn't know what to think at the time because I hadn't looked at it. I didn't know if that was true or not. All the other cars I'd ever driven were like old school oil, super, super late. And so it ended up, most people online are like, that's crazy, but it's true. But they recommend like still get it changed earlier than that. So I think I took it back at like 5,000 miles because it had been almost a year by the time I put 5,000 miles on it and got it changed. But they showed me the oil and it was like the day they put it in. Like it didn't look. So I don't know what's going on with these 2022 Subaru Imprezas, but apparently they can run forever.
Such Mobile One annual protection designed to last 15 to 20,000. Extended oil change intervals can risk long-term engine damage, while synthetic oils resist breakdown. To 10K plus intervals can lead to increased dirt buildup and reduced cleaning ability.
Yep.
That still sounds like bullshit.
I agree with you. That's why I still do it. In fairness, 5,000 miles for me is like a year because I work at home. My wife just goes around town. Like we don't go that long of trips or anything, fortunately. But I was like, there's no, like my whole life, it was like if my car got close to 3,000 miles, because the cars I was driving were always ancient cars, it was like they started rattling and you change the oil and it's just full of, engine shavings and it's pitch black.
Right.
So I was always really worried about it. But apparently now I don't have to be because I have a future car.
Yeah. It also says that it's best, this whole like 10 to 20K thing is meant for people that like run their cars long, not city drivers.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I still don't believe it, but like I
know.
would get it more if it was like someone who was running it all the time and for a long time. But the stop go shit and your engine just coming down, coming back up, coming down, coming back up.
We
if the
just builds up.
temperature makes any difference too. Like
If the what?
from hot colds, like 30-degree. You know what I mean?
could.
That is true. Takes longer to pull through the engine whenever it's cold like that. Can risk things rubbing more when it sits at the bottom of the pan, Pause.
All I know is I get it changed more frequently than they recommend, but less frequently than I would like, or than my gut tells me I should. But like I said, every time they've changed it, they always do the undercar camera, everything. They do that with inspections and stuff too. They always show the footage of the oil coming out, and it's always just crystal clear. So,
Wild.
I'll take it.
Wild.
This is the HP podcast where we talk about oil changes in video games from time to time. If you want to hang out with us, you can come on over to our Discord, handsomephantom.com/Discord. We'd love to hang out with you there. And if you want to go over to Patreon, patreon.com/handsomephantom to be specific, you can support us for as little as $1 a month. If you're an audio listener, you get ad-free early access to the show. If you watch us live or on YouTube, thanks, but you don't get any benefits from the Patreon. But we still would appreciate having you over there. It helps us keep the show going. Anything else, boys, before we get started into the news of the week?
Nope.
Also, hello, Lazy Wizard. I just saw your message from probably 20 minutes ago. All right. Eurogamer says, after a 90% discount, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has more players than the past few COD games combined on Steam. 2019's Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot was responsible for kickstarting a new era for the long-running military FPS franchise with a notable single-player campaign and strong multiplayer offerings. Soon after, the series' second attempt at Battle Royale's Warzone became an overnight sensation. Now the Call of Duty juggernaut from the 2010s wants its crown back. The news that COD Modern Warfare is rocketing back up the charts might come as a shock, but Steam's current spring sale has a number of impressive deep discounts. and the Modern Warfare reboot has seen its price slashed by a whopping 90%. For reference, Call of Duty games rarely go above 75% off, no matter how old they are. A good current example is 2012's Black Ops 2, which is only at 67% during the same sale. The fact several recent COD games are all grouped together on Steam also makes it easier to see how big Modern Warfare is right now versus the rest of the FPS roster. The 2019 release had a 24-hour peak at the time of writing of 58,000 players. Meanwhile, Call of Duty app that includes Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, and more, apparently, has only cracked 50,000. That's also exclusively Steam players, as we know. Boys, it's kind of wild, especially because they just came out with some new stuff for COD as well recently that I think people have been enjoying, actually. But Brandon, you're the COD expert on the show, or at least you used to be. You're an old man now. Pretty crazy that a game, I know it's been on sale and everything, but still that people are interested in a 7-year-old game more than they are in the last couple of releases is pretty impressive.
Yeah, sorry, give me a second. I'm just buying that real quick. Okay, it's bought. I'll download it when the show's done.
We're so back.
I knew about this, right? I heard about it, and I was watching videos of people talking about this. Good is what I say, because this was one of the iterations of Call of Duty that came and went quickly, and they moved on. Modern Warfare 2 was also decent, that came shortly after. But this kind of reinvigorated the scene.
Did you actually just buy it right now?
Yeah. Apparently I didn't own it. I could have swore I did.
I thought I did too. Maybe I own it in a different way. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe I own it on not on Steam. Maybe I own it on
PlayStation.
I bet you I own it on Battle.net.
You do. Whatever. I think I gave you a code because we got codes back then.
Well, I have it again, and now I don't have to open that shitty app. So, but yeah, it reinvigorated the scene. It was unarguably one of the best reboots of a franchise that Call of Duty has seen to date. They really put in some excellent work, and a lot of the things that were introduced in this game carried forward to a lot of the ones after it. This was kind of an excellent and innovative step for them at the time. And I'm not surprised to see that people are going back to something that still holds up. What I can say, having watched people that have played it since the deep discount and all of the articles coming out, is it is absolutely rampant with hackers. Like people kicking you out of the game because they don't like what gun you're using, like people making sniper-only lobbies, like full-on crazy shit that you would see in the 360 lobbies, where there would be someone who would just like give you every emblem that ever existed in COD 4 for being in the lobby. Like shit like that is actually happening in this game. So I'm almost interested, just from like a curiosity standpoint, to go back and kind of see. Also, I do have the Damascus camo, which is the highest camo you can have in that game. I grinded for a long time to get that. And yeah, watching somebody play it the other day kind of brought back a lot of good memories. Certainly of Gunfight, Ben, you and I.
Yep.
The Gunfight back in the day, legendary game mode. One of the best in that game. But I'm not surprised to see, and I hope that the people at Activision are looking at this and weeping. I don't even hope they learn anything, because I want them to fail. I just hope it makes them sad. That, you know, they're getting pennies on the dollar to their new $200 billion that they spend on a game between development and the $200 million marketing budget. And yeah, I love to see it. I really do. When people go back to things that are still good, especially something like this that really did make big changes in the way Call of Duty was moving forward, I think that it's indicative of how this fan base is feeling about what's currently available. Even if it is on deep discount, I think there is something to be said about it, because just as much as you can not want to pay the $70 for the new Black Ops, you could at least play the Warzone, the new Blackout mode, which also has abysmal numbers. So, and to kind of put that into perspective, the numbers for this were higher than the last Black Ops, the current Black Ops, and the Warzone put together. And just thinking about that is just crazy. Crazy, crazy.
Brandon, when I think about that time period of playing Modern Warfare, it's a really I like that time period in my head a lot. Not only because it was a good game, but you and I and Dustin originally started playing like a lot of Fortnite together. We did the Fortnite podcast, all that kind of stuff. Then, Dustin grew up and started going to bed earlier. You and I didn't. We played a lot of Apex Legends right when that came out. Right into Modern Warfare coming out, which we played a ton of, into Warzone, which we played a ton of. Like, I just, when I think of games, a lot of times, especially when I think of multiplayer games, I less often think about, this is just me waxing poetic. I less often think about the game experience that I had and more about the people I played it with. So I don't know if anybody else is like that. Yeah, the feeling, the nostalgia almost.
I get it.
Yeah. So that's that game is like one of my highlights just because of like the time I spent with friends playing it for so long. And that's also where I met our buddy Justin. So yeah, also
Shoot House, man.
Yeah.
That's where they introduced Shoot House.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Shoot the Ship. You remember that?
I do.
When they did the Shipman and Shoot House playlist, and that's all it was. That was the playlist.
Yep.
That was the playlist. Shoot the Ship and Gunfight. Back and forth every couple matches, dude. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. It's so good.
That was also the last shooter that I played on PlayStation, like multiplayer shooter. And I played it on PlayStation, and then I played it on PC. And then I kind of was like, I'm never playing a first-person competitive shooter on PlayStation again.
I genuinely don't know how I did it, because even when I go back and play something that's a shooter, even like, a Resident Evil, I just recently did a Resident Evil 2 save that I started, and that's even third person, so it's even less of a, and there's aim assist. And I'm like, how did I ever proficiently do this with my thumbs? I cannot comprehend it.
And like 2 years ago, you had a resolution to learn how to play PC, and now you can't imagine going back.
I can't.
Do you guys see what's happening here? Do you see? This is all intentional, The negative thoughts of Black Ops 7 and Black Ops 6 are slowly leaving your mind, and positive thoughts about Call of Duty are coming back in. This is all intentional. As you said, Ben, from the article, Call of Duty games generally don't go below 75% discount, so 90%. This is the unofficial start of the COD 2026 promotional campaign. Get everybody back in.
Dude, it is.
And
Modern Warfare 3.
It's Modern Warfare 4.
Well, 4. It's already rumored.
Yeah. Oh, and this is always the time of the year when we start to hear rumors about what we're getting this year, and they're almost always right. So this is brilliant. This is genius. Yeah. I think Activision has seen how poorly Black Ops 7 and 6 has been received, the skin nonsense, just lack of new stuff, and the rumors are that it's going to be Modern Warfare 4. It's going to be on a new engine. It's going to be a reset, just like COD 2019 was. So, Brandon, I've been saying it for months. COD's coming back. This is going to be a big year, so I hope you're getting excited. And I'm happy to see you guys getting back on the hype train. I know there's another little game coming out later this year in the fall, but COD's back. We're so back, Brandon.
We're not back.
We're
and
back.
We will probably never be back.
Yeah, I have very fond memories of the game, but I don't have any desire to go back to it.
This is the intention, Ben. It's working.
You're probably right that is the intention. I'm just saying it's not working on me.
I don't disagree, but they've fucked it up so bad for so many years now that no amount of goodwill, like, I'm past the point where I have the honeymoon phase with it, because I've gotten out of that very quickly, and it keeps getting less and less, so much so that I've skipped, in the past 4 years, I've skipped 2 of them.
Okay, make a resolution right now that you're not going to play it this year. Do it. See, you can't.
I didn't say I wasn't going to play it, but what I'm saying is that Ben, you're so putting your faith. You're backing the wrong.
You made him do the same thing 2 years ago, and he did honor it. But
you are backing the wrong horse, is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that horse might not, race its heart out. But what I'm saying is the reason it is because it'll get shot at the finish line if it doesn't, and not because it's any good at running.
I'm normally very measured with my expectations, and I don't really hype things too much, but for some reason I am ready for COD this year, and I think it's going to be a good one.
I think the propaganda seeped into your brain.
No, he's the one who started it.
Fully accepting it, man. I'm there. This has happened a couple times over the past 6 months, 8 months or so where we've had this like resurgence suddenly in a game. There was about a month ago with Division 2. That was because of the anniversary thing. COD World War II this summer when it hit Games Pass, that suddenly had a big resurgence. There's people out there who want to play COD, so I think this is Activision hopefully is paying attention and seeing that like this year's COD, last year's COD, nobody cares. We want that good stuff, and I think all signs are pointing to them hopefully making a change for this year. The other one that I saw this week, and it made me think of Ben, was Marvel Heroes, which was an MMO, and they've just spun up player run servers this week, and Goth was playing it, and I'm like, the steps to install this thing on my computer are so convoluted, but I really want to do it because this looks great. So
what like 2015, something like that.
Yeah. 2015, 2016, but it just looks like an Ultimate Alliance MMO, which is like, how did this not do amazing? But yeah, I don't know. It's cool to see. I love when older games suddenly just like pop off like this. There's always something tied to it, but it's fun, and I hope devs pay attention. That if you just support your game and don't shut it down, you can't have these random resurgences because they're always fun to see.
But, and lots of hackers apparently.
Yeah,
insane amount of hackers. Like the guy I was watching the YouTube video, he's a big Call of Duty streamer guy. He was talking about this year's and at the same time playing this because of what was going on, and it was surprising to him when he could find a legitimate match. That's how bad it was in his experience. So right. I would believe that anybody who would go in would probably have a similar one.
Who was it?
I'll have to look. It's on my other YouTube account I'm subscribed to. I'll look.
Cool.
But yeah, good for them. Activision doesn't really care. They just see money signs. So how can we bleed them dry next?
Should I wait for you to find it or move on?
No, go ahead. I could find it. Just
Number 2, Twisted Voxel says PlayStation has shut down Dark Outlaw Games amid fresh layoffs and strategy shift. PlayStation has shut down Dark Outlaw Games, a newly formed first-party studio, as part of another round of cuts that includes layoffs and a shift in strategy. The news was initially reported on Resetera, and later confirmed by Bloomberg. Resetera. And later confirmed by Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, who said, more layoffs today. PlayStation is closing Dark Outlaw Games, a studio formed last year by former Call of Duty lead Jason Blundell. He added that, oh, by the way, he also got his studio Deviation shut down a year before that, or 2 years ago. He added that PlayStation is also making other cuts, including mobile development, around 50 people laid off. Schreier later clarified details regarding Blundell's previous project, noting, correction, the previous studio Deviation Games was not owned by PlayStation. It was making a game for PlayStation. Deviation shut down before releasing that game. Then PlayStation hired Blundell to start a new studio, which was shut down today. Dark Outlaw Games was established in 2025 as a Los Angeles-based PlayStation studio led by Blundell, who is best known for his work on Call of Duty, Black Ops, and its Zombies mode. The team had reportedly been in the early stages of development and had not released any titles prior to its closure. Alongside the shutdown, PlayStation is said to be reducing its presence in the mobile gaming space, while previously announced projects such as MLB The Show, Mobile, Ratchet & Clank, Ranger Rumble, and titles in partnership with NCSoft will continue to be supported. The company indicated it will scale back further investment in mobile development to focus on a smaller number of high-impact projects. Davey, what do you have to say about this?
Is having 2 studios shut down in 2 years, is that a gold or a silver trophy that pops for that? That is an achievement for sure. I remember when Deviation shut down, and it was Blundell, but then he also had a business partner, and there was some weird thing that happened where like Blundell suddenly left the studio, and then it shut down shortly after. So it was like Blundell took a backroom deal. And it turns out he went and started Dark Outlaw game, which, it sounded like he was a little bit slimy and he paid the price for it. But yeah, I don't know. We've seen so many of these studios come and go before they've ever even shipped a game or even unveiled what they're meant to be working on, and it's just, a lot of these closures I think are because of bad decision making or poor strategy or over aggressiveness or whatever. But I think like all the shit we've seen, not all of it, but a lot of it over the past several years is just like we are living in really fucky economic times, and it's normally like these are things that you only realize in retrospect, but like we're right in the middle of it, and it's wild, man. We have some other stories we're going to talk about today that kind of signal that, but it's just like I don't know. It's really messed up to see, but there's good that can come of this. I think Sony's been aggressive over the past several years with studio acquisitions and trying to get into mobile and trying to get into games as a service, and everything's just kind of blown up in their face. Like it's great that Marathon appears to be doing well, but other than that, all the diversification and forays that Sony's tried to get into just seem to be going nowhere. And this is just another sign of this. If you bring Blundell on, both with Deviation and Dark Outlaw, you have to assume that he's being brought in for something multiplayer focused. With his pedigree, that has to be what it is.
Well, wait. According to Real Radic, our buddy who's in chat a lot of times, he posted today on Twitter, just a little bit ago, actually, I saw it, says, oh, wow, turns out the Dark Outlaw Games was working on the Dark Outlaw game they were working on under PlayStation was not a live service game. And this is according to JC Backfire's live stream, who was a junior game designer at Dark Outlaw Games. I haven't actually watched the clip. It's only about 30 seconds. But apparently it was not a multiplayer or live service game.
Doesn't really impact the point I was trying to make.
I agree, Dave, but I had to throw that in there because it was breaking news.
So the positive that I hope comes from this is that Sony can, and I've said this before, Sony can refocus on what has made it so successful in this industry for almost 30 years. And that's really, really good games. Not good services, but good games. And I hope they can take the resources they have and enable and enhance their top performers, which is Insomniac, it's Naughty Dog, it's Guerrilla, it's Housemarque, it's Santa Monica, all those ones. Like, and don't make them do shit that they don't do. Like, let's not have like a fucking Suicide Squad situation where it's like this team was really good at making, you know, a really good single player open world Batman game, so they must be able to do a games as a service title. Like, stop doing that. Just make really good games. And having spent the time I have over the past month with like God of War and Ratchet and Clank and the really solid first party stuff, like that's what we want, you know? And you can't even get these games as a service out the door. So just please refocus on what you're good at.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the good that comes out of all this, because it's just not working otherwise. Like for every 10 games as a service that come out, for every one games as a service that's successful, there's 10 that die, and however many more that don't even see the light of day. So I don't know. I really just hope all this stuff is kind of a regression back to what is traditional gaming to me. Because I don't want to talk about studios being shut anymore. I don't want to talk about layouts. I want to talk about good games. And I feel like the more traditional approach to delivering a good product is what's going to change that. So yeah, that was a bit of a rant, but
I liked it though.
I'm sick of talking about studio closures.
Brandon?
Just to go back, it was Hunter TV. I don't know if you guys have ever watched his YouTube video, the Call of Duty guy.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Anyway, I blame Hermie. I don't know. I think this is par for the course anymore with PlayStation. This is becoming more and more frequent of a thing, as David mentioned. New studios coming and going before even showing a damn thing or even talking about it, which is kind of sad. And, you know, just to kind of echo what Dave said, I think it is probably mismanagement. I think it's probably misdirection in the vision of what you're creating. And that's the only thing I can reasonably imagine why, when you haven't even told the public what you've done, you've then shut the doors. There has to be some large internal problem for this sort of thing to not even see the light of day. It wasn't like something was announced and it got negative backlash and then they decided to pull funding. Like this is before, you know, anything is even seeing anything publicly. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what this reads to me. I think it is kind of crazy that yeah, two studios in that short of amount of time kind of signals to me maybe like pick up a new hobby or get into. Well, the oil rigs are always hiring.
Are they?
But yeah, I don't know, man. This is just strange to me. In another long list of PlayStation things going awry, when there's so clearly been a lot of strife and bad things going on with the overall health of the PlayStation internal ecosystem, and how they push forward with things and move their money and what they choose to invest in. So, continued lack of confidence for me personally, in them in general. I want to see them succeed, but this goes on a long bucket list of things that are not good at all for a company that I care about. Even if it's companies in relation to them, they're backed in some way by these bigger entities, and it goes to show how things are going there as well. So
Let's move on. According to The Verge, Nintendo cuts Switch 2 production amid weakening console sales. Nintendo will produce fewer Switch 2 units than it previously projected in response to weakening demand for the console in the U.S. And their report is according to Bloomberg's report. 4 million units of Nintendo's flagship device are expected to be made this quarter instead of the 6 million it had originally planned, according to unnamed sources cited by the publication, with the reduced output set to continue in April. Last month, Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa, said during an earnings call that overseas sales were somewhat weaker than we expected. The slowdown follows a record-breaking launch in June last year, making the Switch 2 Nintendo's fastest-selling console of all time after shifting 3.5 million units in its first 4 days. The production cuts aren't expected to impact Nintendo's ability to meet its target of selling 19 million Switch 2 units this fiscal year, which ends in March, according to Bloomberg sources, and the Japanese gaming giant remains confident in the console's long-term prospects. Like many tech companies, Nintendo is also facing increased production costs due to the rising memory prices and is reportedly considering whether to increase Switch 2 console prices, but these production cuts are being driven by slower consumer demand for the console. Export delays sparked by the war in the Middle East may cause Nintendo to increase Switch 2 production again, according to Bloomberg sources, with Nintendo aiming to stockpile sufficient quantities of a battery replacement variant that it's planning to sell in Europe over the fiscal year. Davey, I'm sure you feeling nothing but joy over this. You hate Nintendo now, right? Wait, I can't ever remember. Are you in Nintendo mode or
Brandon
Ubisoft?
hates Nintendo.
Well, Brandon's always hated Nintendo.
I cheered this. I don't know if you heard when you were reading, but I cheered.
He did. Yeah.
But Dave a few months ago called it. I think Dave actually said they will announce a decrease in production. I'm pretty sure he said those words.
This is the first real indicator we've had for the Switch 2 for success or not success. So when it first came out, we got the, as you said, fastest launch in history. I hate when they use these weird. Remember when Skull and Bones came out and Ubisoft claimed it? They made that really weird stat where it's like it's the highest engagement rate amongst, like, it made no fucking sense. So you can spin anything to sound good, but we had fastest console launch in Nintendo's history. That doesn't mean anything because the hardcores are going to buy it regardless. And then we got really good sales numbers.
Not with the Wii U.
Well, okay, that's different. And then we got really good sales numbers out of Japan, which also doesn't mean anything because it's Japan. So I think this is the first objective piece of sales data that we've gotten to kind of indicate what direction this thing is going. So this is interesting. This is news. I don't think this is any fault of Nintendo's, though, Brandon. I maintain that I feel that Nintendo, and I haven't bought a Switch, but I think that the year one software lineup was awesome. So I don't think that's to blame for it. I think this is a lot more external than Nintendo can kind of blame themselves for. And you mentioned the cost of RAM. Holding inventory is very expensive right now, more than it ever is. So I think that kind of plays into the production level adjustments. But if you were reading the story to me, Ben, and Nintendo had launched a 3D Mario that was exclusive to Switch 2, or a headline Zelda game, like not like a fucking Echoes of Wisdom or something like that, like a Breath of the Wild sequel. If you if you were reading the story to me and they had launched one of those exclusive on Switch 2 in year one, then I'd be like, okay, that's not good. But they didn't. They still have those two aces in their pocket, and those are system sellers. So I don't. Alarm bells aren't ringing for me for Nintendo. Brandon, Nintendo's going to be fine. But we have to remember that there are risks associated with the if it ain't broke approach. And Nintendo has 100% taken the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach with the Switch 2. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in year 2. I think we're going to get a big announcement on one of those two games I just mentioned, whether it be Mario in the next fiscal year or Zelda, probably more likely Mario. But there's that big void at the end of the year, which is Call of Duty 2026 that they're going to have to avoid, and Grand Theft Auto, obviously. So that's a big problem for Nintendo and everybody in the industry, because normally that's where I think you would see a Mario, but I think they may have to push it. But in any case, I don't really know that Nintendo's in any trouble here. I don't think this is cause for concern. It's just, again, it's a really fucky time economically. What I do wonder is, Sony's watching this all play out, and they're predictably 2 years away, maybe less, for the launch of PS6. So I think we may see them really temper their production numbers for launch, and we might see another PS5 launch situation for PS6, but for really different reasons. So everybody wanted a PS5 when it first came out. I think it's going to be just as hard to get the next console, and maybe the same situation for Microsoft, but not because people are gobbling them up. I just think the production numbers are going to be really, really small. And it's because of the RAM, but also because of stuff like this. So everybody's watching this stuff, and it has impact. So, yeah.
Dave, I do think it's interesting that they said they don't think it will affect their the amount that they'll be able to sell. I think they said 19 million still through the first year. 19 million Switch 2 units in the fiscal year, which I guess ends this month. So they probably would have already known that, right? That they were going to hit that. But I do wonder what it means long term. If it's a matter of they're producing less, so you may at some point get a delay in getting them, but you'll still get one, or if it's they think they're going to actually sell less as well, because there is some stockpiling ideas, and maybe that was part of the slate for making more of them. I don't know, but it's just interesting how they phrase that of like they're planning on still selling the same amount this year, and they're planning on stockpiling if they can, but they're going to make less. I don't know. Brandon, go ahead. Say whatever it is. Oh, by the way, I have seen people buying. I've seen people buying Switch 2s for Pocopia, which I did not expect. It's kind of interesting. Brandon,
I recently considered buying a Switch 2 for Pocopia.
I will never let you live it down if you do.
But I will not. I will not. I don't have anything interesting to say about this. I mean, yeah, whatever. They said they're going to sell the same amount. I do think Dave is mostly right with the whole, it's a tough time in the world. People are buying less shit. I mean, I think that's actually the entire reason. Like, regardless of whether the year one lineup, I disagree with Dave. I think the software is mid as fuck compared to things you could play on other consoles that are exclusive. I think it's not as good as the Switch one. I've said that openly on other podcasts. I'm not going to rehash that. But I do think it is not necessarily Nintendo's fault. And I also think something we haven't acknowledged is if they have set their expectations similar to the ones, well, they didn't set them then, but they were expecting a Switch 2-like launch, and we cannot forget about people all being stuck at home and some of the phenomenons that happened around the launch of the Switch 1. So if they're taking that into consideration as like a variable next step, there were not only external factors then, the economic then and the economic now, but that was also a big factor in people being home. and buying and wanting these things and Animal Crossing and all that. So I think that has something to do with it as well. I'm assuming they kind of expected it to perform similarly to the Switch 1 when there were a lot of external factors now and a lot of external factors then that were affecting them differently.
Fair enough.
So just for the record, you saying I thought about buying a Switch 2 last week in its own was more interesting than anything I said. So don't sell yourself short there, Brandon.
It's true.
Well, now I'm never going to buy it.
Fortnite dev lays off staff, shutting down games. Epic has announced a sweeping round of layoffs impacting more than 1,000 employees, an internal message later shared publicly. In an internal message later shared publicly, CEO Tim Sweeney described the decision as difficult but necessary, pointing to a sustained decline in player engagement for Fortnite that began in 2025. This is from GameSpot, by the way. Despite the title's ongoing popularity and high-profile collaborations, the company admitted it has been spending significantly more than we're making. These layoffs are part of a broader restructuring effort that includes over $500 million in cuts across marketing, contractors, and unfilled roles. Epic emphasized that its struggles are not isolated, but instead reflect broader challenges across the gaming industry. Sweeney cited that player spending has slowed, current console generations have underperformed compared to past cycles, and games now face increasing competition from other forms of digital entertainment. Even Fortnite, one of the most successful games of this generation, has had difficulty maintaining consistent seasonal engagement. In response, Epic has taken steps such as raising the price of in-game currency V-Bucks to stabilize revenue. The layoffs are also having a ripple effect across Epic's ecosystem, with several projects and games being shut down or scaled back. Rocket Racing, Ballistic, and Festival Battle Stage are scheduled to go offline in 2026, while Horizon Chase and Horizon Chase Turbo will be removed from digital stores starting June 1st. Horizon Chase 2 will remain available. While Epic acknowledged that some of its difficulties stem from ambitious long-term investments, such as expanding Fortnite to mobile platforms, maybe that lawsuit didn't really help them out, and developing games around Unreal Engine 5 and the upcoming Unreal Engine 6, Sweeney stressed that the layoffs are unrelated to artificial intelligence. Instead, he framed them as a necessary step to ensure stability or sustainability while preserving core talent. Epic now joins other major industry players like Microsoft, Sony, and EA in implementing significant job cuts. Despite this, Sweeney expressed cautious optimism, betting that restructuring now will allow Epic to adapt and remain competitive in a rapidly evolving entertainment landscape. Brandon, I'm just going to let you go.
Yeah, I mean, moreover, one of the saddest things to come of this story is the original concept creator for the Jonesy character was among the fired in this incident. RIP to a real one. Jonesy birthed many memes.
That's right.
And saw many a game.
He even birthed Tfue, actually, if you
true.
know that.
Yeah. That is true. It's like the egg or the chicken. It's like what came first, the Jonesy or the Tfue?
Right. Nobody actually knows.
Yeah, it's like kind of the same thing, you know. But yeah, this is sad, especially when you see people like that that have been around since pre-release, and to imagine the heights that they saw something that was so humble that they worked on get to. Unfortunately, another sad reality of things we've even talked about during this show is that everyone's feeling it. Everybody, even the giants, even Nintendo, even Fortnite. When's Roblox going to start laying off some people? That's going to be next. So, yeah.
Pedophiles first.
For real. Just burn it to the ground. But this sucks. This sucks. And like I said, especially to know that people that were around for a long time. I don't know this guy personally, but to know that you had a part in it from the beginning, and to now be let go at this point, to not be needed anymore, not be contributing in a meaningful enough way to see it through, just kind of sucks overall. And it really is, Sweeney said it right. I don't like the guy. I think he's a bit of a scumbag, but he said it right. It's an evolving market, and it's a business. It's a business first, and we see that all the time, and it sucks. I want this to just be an art form, and it's never treated that way. It's never vision and people first and innovation and creating beautiful things, meaningful things. It's business first, and that's just the way things work. And it's unfortunate, but that's how we get so many games, is because they're businesses. So
Right. Davey, what are you thinking?
I have to think that Fortnite's dev team was exponentially larger than any other game that's been out for 9 years.
Yeah.
So, this sucks, but it's kind of a unique case, I assume, for a development team that once again is supporting a game that's been out for 9 years. Fortnite also was really aggressive with really expensive crossovers. Like all this license stuff they do it costs a lot of money. So I think they appear to be making the right move for the longevity of this game. I also wonder if you remember like the Fortnite like ecosystem thing where it's like you go to play Fortnite now, not just for Battle Royale, but for like all these other things where it was like there's games within Fortnite. I think Fortnite's going to be fine, but I wonder if this is kind of the slow death for that ambitious thing, whatever it was.
Well, that's where like rocket racing and testable battle stage and all that kind of stuff live.
Yeah. So and again, I think the BR is going to be around for a long time, but I wonder if that experiment is being killed off. But I mean, they know where their players are most active, and I wonder if, what they were seeing was most players were jumping into the other stuff and then going right back to BR and playing whatever was there.
Well, if you
Not
look
to
at some of
interrupt.
those other, go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was going to say, and I think those ones that got cut, Dave, were the ones that were made by Epic.
Yeah.
I think the storefront generally will stay alive because it's mostly like created by individuals and not by Epic. So you completely cut out. The reason that these ones are going is because Epic was putting resources into them.
Right.
But if you keep it there and there's really popular modes, like some of the modes are rivaling some of Epic's modes. And I think that was part of the problem is users were generating things that, were probably getting as much, if not more, than these things that Epic was sinking money into. And then they say to themselves, well, then what's the point, right?
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. So I don't think that'll go away. I just think they're going to be more choosy and we'll continue to see modes come and go like this because as a whole, it is positive for them to have this user-generated content because it does draw people in with no continued cost after they've created the tools for people to do this.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's amazing how big those user-generated content ones are, and they all make a ton of money too. Like sometimes you look at, and because Fortnite now puts like the player counts on how many people are in each mode, and you can see like always, Battle Royale is going to have the highest, but some of the other modes are close.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And my kids love playing Battle Royale, but they'll also play, Brain Rot versus Zombie or something. I don't know what it's called. Something with brain rots in it.
Steal the brain rot.
Okay, there you go. For hours, in comparison to regular mode. So it's interesting.
Sorry, but go ahead, Dave. I just wanted to
Oh, I didn't even realize we interrupted Dave.
give my 2 cents about that.
No, I have nothing else to add. I think Fortnite's going to be fine, and it just kind of seemed to be ballooning to a point that wasn't sustainable. But
Yeah.
I think the core thing that makes Fortnite what it is going to be here for a long time. And they have a normal sized team now, I assume. So
I think it's still probably pretty large, but yeah. So is the game.
Oh my God, boys. So Steal the Brain Rot was a game that was originally popularized on Roblox.
Okay.
And somebody user generated a version of it on Fortnite. And I just Google imaged it to make sure I was remembering correctly that there was a Fortnite version of it. And I'm seeing things inside of this user generated Fortnite level. People are selling this in-game monster, this brain rot monster, $500, $180, $150, $180, $170, $55 for stuff inside of a game that somebody made. Crazy. So yeah, there's definitely money to be made, and it's drawing people in. But, yeah, I already talked about this. So
Let's move on then.
yeah,
it's time to talk about what we've been playing. Anybody, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first. It's fine.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. So I've been playing more Marathon. I still got the huge itch for this game. Really, really enjoying, loving the hell out of this game. I haven't got a ton of time to play. I've had a weird schedule in the past week. My schedule is like on a rotating basis. So sometimes I could play more, sometimes I can't. But the little I've played, it's still very enjoyable. I think we're reaching the point in the game, though, where people are starting to get much more savvy. And so I'm getting my ass fisted much more often, to put it lightly. Yeah. Also, I started a game called Inscription. Came out a couple years ago from one of my favorite publishing studios, Devolver Digital. They just have a lovely eye for games. I absolutely love the stuff they put out. And kind of on a whim, was like, I don't know much about this game. I knew it had something to do with cards, and I gotta say, this was simultaneously one of the coolest games I've ever played, and probably one of the most aggravating games I've ever played in my entire life. And for that reason, I will never forget it. There's 3 acts in this game. I won't give it away, but it almost felt like I was playing, not exactly, but it kind of felt like 3 different games. And that's all I'll say about that. Very, very, very cool. At first, I was very put off by the different acts because I really liked the way the first act was. But by the end, there's a lot going on in this game, and it's very hard and can be very frustrating at points. It is a roguelike, and those tend to be that way, especially when RNG is factored in. But yeah, by the time I got through this thing, it's definitely an all-timer for me. Love this game to death and would recommend anybody that likes strategy games with cards. It's not super in-depth, but I would describe it as a card game, a puzzle game, and it has spooky vibes. First and foremost, it's a card game, does have some puzzles, and is spooky-ish vibes, and has a really cool story that's kind of surreal at points. So yeah, this game is sick. This game is sick. Have you guys checked this out? Have you played it?
I played a lot of it like 2 years ago.
How far did you make it?
The 3rd act.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. Brandon, I've got a game for you.
Yes.
That that my company released. I worked on a couple weeks ago. It reminds me a lot of Inscription. It's not like Inscription, but it has like similar tones and vibes to it. Okay. I think specifically you will like the artwork.
What's it called?
It's called Pluto.
Is it on Steam right now? Oh, it is.
You probably have access to it through my library, but if you don't, I'll get you a code since you're a part of the media.
Oh, dude, I fucking love the artwork.
Figured you would.
This is sick. I want to play this absolutely. Yeah, let me know. I am 100% interested. And this just came out, 2 weeks ago? A couple weeks ago? Dope. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. But yeah, just kind of out of nowhere, I was dicking around. I was playing ball pit and I don't know. I'm getting kind of fatigued with it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I just need to get through the levels, because right now I'm just trying to finish all of the levels I already have with the characters, and I'm just kind of getting fatigued. I keep picking the same balls over and over again. They're the most effective, and I don't know. Something about it just was feeling less satisfying. So it was cool to play something that I didn't have to sink a ton of time into and that I could actually beat. So that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to do in Inscription after the game is quote-unquote finished. But I've already been pretty long-winded. I played Scritchy Scratchy. I don't want to steal Ben's thunder because he actually bought it. I'm just leeching off of him.
I didn't realize you played it.
Yeah. I've played for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours now. It's a game about scratching off scratch-off tickets. And you just get more and more, and then you get a bot that can like scratch off the tickets for you, and you can have a little cat that like takes in the money. And it's ridiculous. Like at some point, it's like I'm getting 1.2 trillion from each scratch off, and there's like multipliers that you could do to up your luck and like get a bigger scratching coin and like sticky mats. So like you blow a fan that'll blow the tickets into the scratcher, and it's really fun and mindless in the way that like something like Power Wash Simulator is, where like it's just engaging enough that like it's relaxing and you're doing something. And you could like click on boxes and shit, and like it makes my rat brain happy. But it also has like a run based mechanic, right? It's kind of like a roguelike in a way because you can do runs and then your next run can be better because your last run was good. So kind of interesting and kind of out of nowhere. It's funny, Ben. Literally a day or two before I saw that you added it to our library, because you're my brother and it's on our family share,
And we live in the same house.
and we live in the same house. Uh, I was literally looking at it on Steam, and I was like, at first, Scritchy Scratchy, I thought it was like a cat game or something. I don't know. And so I clicked on it. And I'm like, oh, this looks kind of fun. I was reading reviews about it, and I was like, maybe. And then I ended up playing Inscription, but
Well, Brandon, you know how I found it? So I don't know how I saw the demo originally. I just happened to see it. But then the other day I was looking at Deep Rock Galactic Survivors page, their Steam page, and for some reason clicked on the publisher's name. And they are the listed developer on Scritchy Scratchy.
really,
Yeah.
huh? Interesting.
I don't actually know what the tie is there. It's Fun Day Games. They were the publisher for Scritchy Scratchy and the developer for listed as the developer for Survivor.
Interesting.
Have you played that
But
yet, by the way?
What's that?
Have you played Deep Rock Galactic
No.
Survivor yet?
No, I don't
No?
really know what that is.
Okay. All right.
But last but certainly not least, I played Burnout Paradise. I'm not going to describe what that is. It was one of the most formative games in my family when it came out. This game is a 10 out of 10. I love everything about it. And to go back and play it even for a little bit, the time capsule that this game is with the music and the vibes is immaculate. I will leave you guys with one story. In Burnout Paradise, one of the gimmicks was that if you had the PlayStation Eye camera, you could take a photo of yourself and put it on your license. When you played online and you took out a real person, it would snap a photo of that person in the moment after you took them out to get a funny reaction. Seems like a good idea. But I very vividly remember one time my dad was playing online and he took somebody out, and the dude had spread his asshole towards the camera, and the photo was of his spread asshole. And that will be all. That's all I've been playing this week.
Davey, would you like to go next?
Sure.
How do you follow that?
How do I fill that gaping hole?
The goatsy, dude.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I got the platinum, so I can say it. Platty's popping, pennies dropping. We did it.
Hey,
That's platinum number 11 for me. So
let's go, baby.
yeah, it was fun. It was a little bit more grindy than I thought because Ben was bragging.
I wasn't bragging.
after
I just
last week. He was
made a statement.
An hour after I finished the game, I popped the platinum. Probably took me another like 3-4 hours.
Well, I probably play in a much more neurotic OCD way the first time through than you did.
To give Ben credit, mine was the same as his.
So really, it's to take credit away from Dave.
I always start games like that, like the first couple hours. I'm gonna find everything, and then I just get fucking pissed off, and I'm like, I'm just gonna finish this game and see what's left after.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna go into my next game, and I want to come back to Ratchet and Clank. So I went back to the Ascent. This is one of my favorite games for a long time. I'm getting the platinum on PlayStation. Can't talk about this game enough. It has its flaws, but in trying to knock off as much as I can of the platinum journey along the golden path, I came across one trophy where it's a trophy for dying 100 times, but there's no in-game counter, and there's no way to know how many times you've died. And the Ascent is not, it's not an easy game, but I wouldn't call it a hard game. Like you're not it's not like a Souls game where you could easily naturally die 100 times. And I'm also thinking back to Ratchet and Clank. There was the Kreger Bears trophy, which not a big deal, but this was like a secret hidden collectible, and it was put in the game as a memorial for someone who worked on the game, died before it came out. I think. So they put this collectible in the game, which rest in peace, very nice thing. But fuck you, man. Like, why can't every other game in every other collectible is tracked in the game, and this one for whatever reason is just you just got to go figure it out yourself. So I'm looking through a guide like an idiot, knowing I've already found like 3 or 4 of them. And I like half the planets, like I go and like it's gone. So I just have to assume. So I don't know why they do these things. Like if you're going to attach a trophy to something, like make it easy for me to track. And like, you know, I'm gonna finish the ascent and I'm gonna have to sit there at the end of the game and just kill myself 100 times, and that's gonna take a long time, and I'm gonna do it because I'm a moron. But why not give me a counter? You know, that's not difficult. It's in the game somewhere if there's a trophy attached to it. So why can't I see the number? What's the big secret? Rant over.
It's a big quality of life.
Question,
upgrade.
Dave.
Yeah.
You're playing it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Next to the trophy, does it have a completion rate? Because sometimes in the native PlayStation thing, it will.
Like
It'll
a
be like
percentage.
88% to completion.
You'll get that for like most of the first party stuff, but
not
not
this.
for the ascent. So
That game also may have come around before they added that hook in.
yeah, could have.
Damn, dude.
But it's still it's
That is
in the
annoying.
like it's being tracked somewhere. So why can't
Right.
I just see the number? You know.
Right. Right.
Play a little bit more Arc Raiders. I killed another Raider. What do you think
Nice.
about that, fellas?
Hell yeah, bro. Murder
Um,
everybody.
I was playing with my buddy Duncan, he's got a hacksaw ridge approach where he doesn't want to kill anything except Arc. And he learned the hard way that if you see another raider and you flick your flashlight on and off, and that raider responds by shooting you, the response is not to yell friendly, 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 because they'll just keep shooting. So yeah, he killed my buddy, and I clutched up the 1v1, and that felt pretty good. Because every time I played like PvP with you guys, I'm just firing like into the abyss and hoping something lands, and you guys have taken care of everything. I can admit it now because you both moved on to other things, but it was nice to actually win a gunfight in that game.
But Dave, for the record, I would like to still be playing Arc Raiders. I just don't have anybody to play with consistently. So if you are
Yeah.
playing, let me know.
That's fair. Yeah, I want to play it more. And I just started Space Marine 2 last night. This just came onto the PlayStation, not the poverty level, the middle one.
Yeah.
The catalog. I literally just played through the first mission, and I played a little bit of PvP, which is awesome. But the player pop seems to be kind of low, even after being on the PlayStation catalog, because it took a long time to find a game. So that kind of sucks. But
Do you know if there's crossplay?
Sorry?
Do you know if
Yeah.
there's crossplay?
I think so. Yeah, I think it asked. Maybe I didn't have it on.
Well, I was just wondering because I have the game. I really love the campaign, but then when I wanted to play multiplayer, the guys I was playing with were like, "I don't really want to play multiplayer," so I never played.
It does.
Maybe 1 or 2 matches. So.
It does. Yeah,
Okay.
it does. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
That game
it
slaps.
felt like Gears of War.
Yeah.
Like, just a video game, just heavy, crunchy. But I'll talk more about that next week when I hopefully put some more time into it. But that's all for me. Talk about Crimson Desert, Ben.
Yeah, I wrote Crimson Desert here on the doc, and Dave caught it way before I was hoping he would. I was going to talk about Scritchy Scratchy. Brandon basically nailed it. I did accidentally leave my house one day and left the game running for like 2 hours, so we probably have about the same amount of time in it, Brandon.
Yeah, I realized I did that today when I
Oh,
came
really?
back to my desk to pull up the thing. I wasn't even at my house. I just got home and realized I left it up since I started making dinner.
Nice. I'm loving it though. I really, it's Ben Braden kind of game, honestly. In all honesty, I haven't really played a lot of Crimson Desert or Crimson Desert for that matter. I've probably only played, I don't know, 5-6 hours, something like that. But I like it a great deal. Now I haven't hopped in since the updates that have changed a bunch of things, put some quality of life improvements in there, changed some difficulties with bosses, stuff like that. But when I was playing it before, I was just getting lost in the world and like not following the story path at all, which I guess is what these types of games are for. I spent probably like, of the time I've been playing, probably half that time just picking up new bounties and hunting them down, because it's fun. The game has definitely got a lot of issues. I don't think it's like a perfect game by any means. It's not top tier, and it's really clunky at points. I opted to play it on controller because I heard the control scheme on keyboard and mouse was so bad. They've now changed that, and now I'm like, well, I'd like to go to keyboard and mouse, but I'm already used to the controller controls. So I don't really want to relearn it halfway, or not halfway, but part of the way through the game. But I'm just really liking it. Lots of different things, lots of goofy stuff. I mean, I won't spoil anything, but I was playing for like 2 hours and I came across this part of the game that didn't seem to like fit in the game, and I was like, I had no idea this was this kind of game. So it was just a totally different bit of an experience for me. So I don't really have a ton to say. This is the kind of game that like you don't really start to really put thoughts together until about 15 hours in, it feels like. But I think it's cool. I think that it's unique enough that it has its own place in the world, but also familiar enough that people who have played similar types of games are going to find themselves comfortable. As a lot of people are saying so far, 5-6 hours in, story's not real great, but I don't think this is the kind of game you play for the story as much. You play for more exploration and a little bit of combat, a little bit of puzzle hunting, a little bit of everything, not primarily for story. So that's it. I don't have a ton to say about it, but that's what I've been playing. Oh, I have one more thing to show off. This isn't really something I've been playing. As you guys know, I'm probably the biggest mobile gaming advocate on the show, honestly. And I had bought a GameSir on Dave's recommendation last year, and it wasn't really the controller I wanted. I wanted the one I'm about to show you, but it wasn't out yet. So I bought the GameSir, played with it for like a couple weeks, and then decided I didn't really like it. It was too big for the purposes I wanted it for. I couldn't like stuff it in my pocket and take it with me, whatever. So I waited and I bought this. It's called the MCon, and it just attaches to the back of my phone like you do with the MagSafe. Here it is, just on there, and then it pops up and attaches with Bluetooth, attaches seamlessly, or connects seamlessly, and then it's even got some little foldable things for your hands if you got big hands like me. And then there it is. It's got the back buttons and everything. It also, you can pull the back cover off of it and turn it into a stand. And you can just play with the controller. The controller also plug into your, like most mobile controllers, will plug into your computer, or you can use it for your Switch or whatever. Anything you can connect a Bluetooth controller to. Wow. So I really like it. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to play on my Switch or on my mobile.
How much?
I think these normally go for 150.
Jesus.
This one was on sale. They have a black and a white one. The black one was the one I wanted. It was on sale for $20 off. That one was on sale for $50 off, probably because it's the less favorable color. So I paid $100 for it.
That's not bad.
Does it have triggers?
Yeah, it's got triggers, all 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
when I bought the
in time
GameSir, it was like 90. So
just in time for Division Resurgence on Tuesday,
on it, David.
COD Mobile.
March 31st.
I'll be there.
Volpit's coming to mobile too.
I think it's already on mobile, isn't it?
Is it?
Either way, yeah. But yeah, I'm finding more and more of a use case for it. Like now that I'm traveling a bit more for work than I used to, I always take my Steam Deck or my Switch with me, and then I just never get it out because it's like, oh, it's kind of annoying. I gotta get it out of my backpack, and then I gotta get it out of the case, and then I gotta take the actual case that's on it off because I'm paranoid about breaking my stuff. So I keep it like super protected, and then by the time that's all done, the trip's over, and I like have to. So just having something like literally, if I put my phone and this controller together, it's about 2.5 times the size of my phone, but it still easily fits in my pocket. And so I've literally carried this around a couple times, even with having no anticipation of being able to play it where I was going, just to see how it felt. And this is something I could easily see, like especially if you're on a plane, just like pulling this out and popping it up and playing the game you want to play without really having to do other stuff. I still don't love mobile games as a whole, but there are some decent ones out there that are fun for like 20, 30 minutes, as opposed to when I get out my Steam Deck, I feel like I need an hour to really get into something because it's a computer. So yeah, we'll see. And I just wanted it, and so I bought it.
That's cool, man.
Because I'm an adult.
Yeah, that's sexy. I like the design of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They kickstarted it a couple years ago, and then it blew up, and it was at like CES and all sorts of stuff. They're doing another version of it soon. That's like a slim version. I waited till they announced that, and then I decided I didn't want it because it's like way more compact, and my hands are like normal person's hands, so I didn't think I could use it. But
gotcha. Cool.
That's it. MCon is the name.
Okay.
Sponsored.
No, I wish. I actually when they before they released it, I sent them an email asking if we could get review units, and I sent them a clip of the show of you talking about mobile games.
Me.
Yeah, about you talking about your
Next
games.
time
there.
you're gonna pit me out like that, let me know.
I was
Spice
going
it
to
up
send
a
you a
bit.
controller too if they sent me one, but they didn't. I had to buy it. Yeah. I don't very often solicit for. I never solicit for hardware. Very, very, very rarely do I ever solicit for keys. Like maybe twice in the last year. But occasionally we'll get something here and there. But that one I was like, I saw it. I was like, I gotta ask because I wanted it before it released to check it out because I was looking for a controller at that time. And then as soon as they didn't send it to me, I got the GameSir, and then I returned the GameSir to buy this.
Well, have you used it enough? What's the battery like on it?
I have not used it to the point where I've used it for a few hours, but the battery life is supposed to be like, I think it's like 9 hours constantly on and like 21 days off or something like that.
It's on sale for 100 bones right now.
Yeah, the white one is. Yeah.
They both are.
Oh, are they? No
Yeah.
way. Shut up.
I swear to God, I'm on Snap. Did you get it off of Snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, the black one's on $100 right now.
I'm going to hurl.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Originally 150, $99 for both of them.
I'm irrationally angry at this moment.
You know what? Let's do this. I'll buy the white one from you for 40, and then you'll only have to pay an extra 40 to get the black one.
Well, it would be an extra 60 actually.
Well, no. Listen, hey, it's worth it to get the black one. I think, Ben. I agree. You should sell me yours for 20. And then
I actually bought this thing a week ago, and I bought the white one because the black one was not on sale, and I'm so mad.
Maybe they price match themselves.
Yeah, that could be it. Radic Series says Dave with the beard is character development. Radic, we mentioned you earlier in the show. You'll have to go back to find out what it was about, though.
well, you ever just accidentally close the wrong tab?
Yeah, I saw that happen.
Okay.
No. All right, boys, that's it.
That is it.
That's everything we got.
Hello and goodbye.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. Check us out on Discord or Patreon or both. We wouldn't hate it. I'm going to go email MCon about getting an exchange on my controller. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.